The perfect hunting and fishing companion, your Wiebe knife, designed by sportsmen for sportsmen. After all, it's a Wiebe. Order your Wiebe knife today with up to 24 replacement blades, free, and guaranteed $5 flat rate shipping on any sized order at WiebeKnives.com.
You know, you and Bob have a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I've heard that. I take it as a compliment.
Well, yeah. I mean, you both have curly hair and brown eyes, halitosis, you know, facial hair.
What is halitosis?
Well, it just means that you have a very strong character. Yes, you and Bob have very strong characters.
Oh, well, thank you, Lisa. That's very kind.
So what's this show about?
Well, I'm headed to the land of Elvis to be with my friend Red O'Hearn. Red has a beaver trapping business down there. He works for landowners and counties, and he's good at what he does, and it's going to be a really good show. We have strong character, Bob.
Too proud to ever behold the all that is this and nothingness out on the bad river road, out on the bad river road.
I come down south to trap beavers every spring, and where I trap it's real flat, so a beaver dam can back up water for miles and flood hundreds of acres. So in the fall, the farmer's not as concerned with water on the property as he is in the spring. In the fall, they hunt a lot of ducks, and some people actually rent out areas for duck hunters for thousands of dollars. But in the spring, they need to get the water off so the ground can dry up and the crop can be planted. So beaver is a benefit in the fall and it's a liability in the spring. So that's where I come in. And I've got the farmers, for lack of a better word, trained that they're gonna have to pay me to get rid of these beavers. And I've proven myself, because I've been coming down here for 15 years doing this. So some of the older farmers who owned all the property wouldn't even talk to me for 2 or 3 years until I got a few jobs and proved myself. So it's a building process. Just like any trap line, you're gonna build an inventory of either places to trap, permissions, or customers. It's a building process that once you sell these people on your value and the value of eliminating the beavers instead of just going and digging dams out, they come around pretty fast. Because one guy told me I'd send 3 guys with a flatbed semi with a big backhoe on it to break beaver dams. He says, you drive from one end of the county to the next, that's expensive, paying 3 days wages plus having to maintain that big machine in the truck. He said, now it's much more economical to hire me to go in and take care of the problem, then they only have to dig them out once. So it's a learning process for everybody involved, not only me, but my customers. I just walked along here, poked around with a rake, and I've got 2 330s in holes here. Nothing. I think there's an old run back up in here from the cave-in on the bank. But there's a run over there. I've got a beaver there. And then I've got a run set over at the house, and I've got 2 280s on the house that I put lure behind. It looks like the first 280's gone, so I might have at least 1 beaver there and 1 beaver there. Mama, you can tell it's a female. She's probably got babies in her when their nipples develop. It's not just because it's cold, the water's cold. These Duke 330s are so strong. When I first got them, the setter slipped out of my hand. It just missed my face and tore the pocket off my shirt. Oh, it was great.
Your faith is your livelihood. That was much.
I know, I'd hate to damage this.
Probably have it insured.
Yep, yeah. With the Lloyd's of London. That's a pretty big beaver. I have my trap set right here, and I just put a stick with Big Red up there. Beaver in a 280. It's not a bad one either. Let's see if we got one. I've got a... This drops off fast and the bottom's not very nice. This one was a tough one to get in there.
Well, you got it in the right spot, apparently.
Yeah, evidently. I can't see my other trap. I might have another beaver over on the other side of the house. That's pretty good.
Wiebe Trapline Adventures is brought to you by Shields All Sports. Follow your passion for everything outdoors. By DAKOTA line snares and trapping products. Snares loaded for speed. And by Wiebe fleshing and skinning knives. We are wicked sharp. We are Wiebe.
I've been a professional trapper for over 40 years, and in that time, I've skinned literally thousands of animals. I've learned that it doesn't matter how cool a knife looks on your hip. What really matters is sharpness and reliability. And that's why I created the Wiebe Wicked Sharp line of replacement blade knives. These are knives that will quickly skin your critters without skinning your wallet. Visit WiebeKnives.com to get my Wicked Sharp Vixen folding knife with 24 replacement blades for only $34.95. Wiebe Knives, Wicked Sharp. They don't have to match. If you ruin one, you only ruin half the pair.
I've been known to wear a brown one and a green one.
Yeah.
It's like two different gloves. That's why you pick up singles. Or at least why I pick up singles.
So the purpose of these traps, they kill pretty quickly, correct?
Yeah. Yep. They shut the beaver off so he can't breathe. They say beavers don't really drown. They die of carbon dioxide narcosis.
So when they're coming out of their run or house, they're hugging the bottom.
Yeah, usually if you're able to see, there's a clear spot where they come down and they push off with their feet. It's like they bottom out and then they go. It's a custom made.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, sure, I've seen those.
Kirk Beauregard made a stand, but my partner from Oklahoma actually made them on stakes. That's how come I have some. I went to his house and we made a bunch, and he gave me some. This big red lure puts out an oil slick. So I put a drop of it here at the water line. And that'll be like when you see gasoline on a pond, it just goes out. And that'll attract the beavers even if the wind's out of the wrong direction. Because people only think of wind direction when they're trapping dry land, but it's the same at water level too. We'll both remember those are there when we get back to camp. Since beavers don't have a very good handle, I put one on them that I can hold, and I don't have to use a lot of pressure with my hands. I can just hook my fingers. Since I'm not going to carry them high anyway, I'm probably dragging them half the way to the truck, but it sure beats their feet are tapered and they're hard to hang on to. So Beaver's ready to go for a ride in my pickup.
Wiebe Trapline Adventures is brought to you by Redneck Convent, gear for the rugged, tough outdoors. By F&T Fur Harvesters Trading Post, everything you need for trapping and hunting. And by Southern Snares Trapping Supply, our customer success is our priority. They say the real work starts after the shot, and looking back, they could be right, unless you carry a Wiebe knife. The scouting and plan were executed. The shot was perfect. Now it's time to get busy. Wicked sharp with a replaceable scalpel blade. There's not a finer hunting partner on the planet than your Wiebe knife. When sharpness, reliability, and precision matter, big game hunters reach for a Wiebe. Wiebe knives, wicked sharp.
Like I said, this is just a super easy set. The sticks in the dam are kind of arranged in a natural funnel. I'm just going to put it right back where it was. Maybe rearrange a few sticks. That's all I'm going to do. Important thing, don't forget to take the safety catches off. You can make yourself some big problems if you snap one of these on a beaver and you don't catch him. And he gets out because you forgot to take the safety catches off. Beavers can get as smart as any coyote, maybe even smarter, because they make their own territory. They create their own habitat, so they're familiar with it. And if they get spooked, and there's any little change, they won't come close to it if you don't catch them and you wise them up. keep the water and the owner wants to get the water off. And this isn't a farming application, but it's still basically the same, but for a different reason. And like you said, we're conservationists. We want to have the woods. We want to have clean water. We want to have animals. But we use the animals because they're a renewable resource. Fur's renewable resource that's very utilitarian. It's in countries that don't have money for $300 and $400 and $500 high-tech winter coats. If they can get a fur-lined jacket for a little of the cost, it's just as efficient, if not more efficient, than the high-tech scientific Gore-Tex and all that stuff. I've set places like this that had an old house and a new house, and you'd think all the beavers would be in the new house, and you catch all the beavers out of the old house and nothing out of the new house. It just, nothing's ever always and nothing's ever never. There's a 330 in that run. There's usually a run around the house at some point. There's a 330 where it was a channel right there by that tree with that branch over it. And there are 2 runs going into the house on this side. One of them has a beaver. That's the
Hey everyone, Caleb with Wiebe Knives and Dakota Line Snares. Figured I'd take some time today to talk about the Wiebe replaceable scalpel blade line of knives. First, I've got the Red Fox here. It's going to be a soft handled with a top release. This one here is the Arctic Fox, more of a textured, harder plastic with a bottom release. This one is the Vixen, a little fancier with that wood grain, also bottom release. Those first 3 saw they're all going to come with a sheath. Next, I've got the Monarch here. This is going to be a harder textured plastic handle as well. Bottom release. This one comes with a belt clip, so carrying it in the field a little easier for that. Next is the Boss Dog. This is going to be a fixed blade knife. You can still pop those replacement blades on quick and easy. This is a good knife for in the fur shed, anywhere we're going to leave that knife sitting around. Lastly, I've got the Zipper here. This is going to be for your opening cuts, your money cuts, anything like that, splitting tails. Replaceable blades. And it has a belt clip for carrying it in the field. And again, that is the full line of Wiebe replaceable scalpel blade knives.
It's another pretty good sized beaver. I used to always get spooked about walking around these houses. Usually, like I said, I don't talk when I'm around them, but I think I'm about done here. Because the beavers will be right inside there.
Wiebe Trapline Adventures is brought to you by Cold Creek Trapping Products, serious trapping gear for the serious trapper. By Steck Animal Lures, top quality baits and lures with proven performance. And by Wiebe Knives. Don't ever get caught in the field again with a dull knife.
I've been a professional trapper for over 40 years, and in that time, I've skinned literally thousands of animals. I've learned that it doesn't matter how cool a knife looks on your hip. What really matters is sharpness and reliability. And that's why I created the Wiebe Wicked Sharp line of replacement blade knives. These are knives that will quickly skin your critters without skinning your wallet. Visit WiebeKnives.com to get the new Monarch folding knife with 3 replacement blades for just $19.95. Wiebe Knives, Wicked Sharp.
You want to make sure you get it back in the right spot. Usually there will be a hard bottom where the run is. Might not be so much of a U shape, but usually there's hard bottom. But a lot of times there'll be a U shape. And I'll go around the house with my rake or my canoe paddle and find and feel the runs and try to set them all. Because if you leave one open, you might let all the beavers out of the house without catching them. Not a bad beaver. We're going to take this guy back and load up and go to the next spot.
like one of the first things that catches your eye is a crossover.
That's a hot spot. I mean, beavers don't fly. If there's a series of dams, there's going to be a trail that crosses over every one of them. It's a high percentage set. Muskrat. Muskrat's worth 3 coons. Oh man, that trap put a hurt on him. That's a nutria. See how he has that long whiskers? Rat-like tail.
Talk a little bit about nutria. They're not native.
Nutria is a South American animal. They were imported into the United States as a fur farming venture. At one point, beaver was worth $1 an inch, measured down lengthwise and crossways. So this is a substitute for that high dollar beaver. The back of the nutria is about like a woodchuck, real coarse, not good fur quality, but the belly is real silky and comparable to a beaver pelt. They're an interesting animal. They're only worth about $2 or $3, but most trappers will have a fur collection, and you can get it tanned, and you could probably sell it for $20 or $15. Depends on how much you have in your tanning fee, to how much you're going to have to get to make a profit. Just a simple set. Animal told me where to catch him. There's a trail right there over the beaver dam. I had a beaver in it last time. You don't need a whole bunch of blocking on these sets either, because the animals are already going down this trail. I just like to make it look good. A lot of times I don't push my blocking through the springs, that way it's there when I have to reset the trap. Ready for the next customer.
Well, I hope you're enjoying our time with Red O'Hearn. Red is a very fine trapper, and he's entertaining as well. And so next week, stay tuned, because next week's episode is going to be again with Red. And there's going to be a lot of catches. Red will be offering up his deep thoughts and sage wisdom. And so until then, peaceful waters.
Out on the bad river road. Out on the bad river road.
There's an otter and a 330 Belial.
The whole wide world's at your fingertips.
Wiebe Knives, voted one of Field & Stream's best hunting products. Every Wiebe knife comes with up to 24 wicked sharp replacement blades. After all, it's a Wiebe. Order your Wiebe knife today with up to 24 free replacement blades at WiebeKnives.com.